Oh, where? Hey, everyone. Welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We are your hosts, Kicker, the Chief of Cereal, and Sigilite of the FLG. And I'm Seth the Mad Doc. You're definitely still not recovering from the flu correspondent. How has everyone been
Oh
doing?
wow, dude! Wait to kick us off. If it looks like if we look kind of like shit, it's because Seth is recovering from the flu, and because I have been working nonstop, like literally 5 minutes before this episode began. I was working on the layouts for something like ELVO or really any one of our events is kind of just a terrible game of Tetris that give you nightmares all night long. But Seth, guys,
I like Tetris.
I
I
have
think
not
I've
gotten
seen
hobby.
original Game Boy Tetris at your house.
I do. You have seen the Game Boy Tetris at my house. Yes, I have an original Game Boy right next to my first edition Nokia brick phone. Yeah, old school technology, which I love. Guys, if you're listening to a podcast, please remember we do record live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get to be part of the chat and help determine the fate of 40K in the tabletop wargaming community because we really do listen to you guys. And plus, it's a ton of fun. And usually this is when I show my hobby progress, but I have a lazy sack of poop. And not by lazy, I mean lazy in terms of the hobby side of
Yep,
things.
no,
I've just
Kicker
been
doesn't do
working.
anything at all day, every
Yeah,
day.
nothing at all. But no, man, I've got this batch of 30 guardsmen and I thought I could whip them out. And now it's taking time. And I'm like, I got too much work to do. Let's not do the hobby stuff right now. I did get a game in and I had a ton of fun. It was fun. I basically, I guess guard would be the leaf blower list. I did a lot of damage round one. And if I don't basically destroy them enough to, it was actually against orcs, Seth. He had two kill rigs, managed to kill one, cripple the other, and I killed his battle wagon that had gas in it. And that was just turn one of shooting, like easy peasy, and it, kill a bunch of other stuff. But it just takes gas in your lines to tear up every single one of your tanks. And so at the end of the day, I lost the game with my guard, but that's okay. I had a lot of
How
fun.
dare you?
Yeah, how dare I? Seth, have you been playing? I know you've been playing a lot of Dark Tide. Have you played any
Yeah, no,
40K?
I guess since the last time I was on, I did go to Warzone Atlanta.
Oh, cool.
But then after I got back from Warzone Atlanta, which I had a great time, I ended up getting the flu last
No,
week, which I'm still
was that
recovering from.
man? That was
In case folks didn't put that two and two together. So I'm still on the mend, but I've been resting on my Votan painting laurel, so I haven't really done much painting. But I'm stewing on what my next expansion to my league will be.
yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
have you seen the I guess the mystery, the rumor
Yeah,
entry in the
the
thing?
rumor engine picture that
Yeah, I
is
mean, come on,
definitely a
that's
Votan axe in the sheath.
100% that's a Votan axe, man. Yeah, so I mean, jury's out. We know there's gonna be more Votan releases, just like they did with Sisters and
Yep.
whatnot. I'm thinking it's gonna be something sooner rather than later, right? Because
I don't know. I don't think we're going to see much until maybe either they do some supplements,
yeah.
but usually they don't try to release a ton of models and supplements. They usually just release new rules with them, but you never know.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. What is getting released soon for sure is this new Ghoul King on Throne. Have you? Did you see that model they
Ooh.
released? Yeah,
No, I haven't.
it's the Boxing Day. So in America, we don't have Boxing Day. It is I believe it's a UK traditional traditional holiday.
Ooh.
After there we go. Look at
I
that
did
beautiful
see
one.
that actually. I
Yeah.
just didn't, I guess, remember where.
Yeah, so it's on Warcom. It's the Boxing Day model. So it's just a holiday released model,
I like it.
basically an evil zombie sitting on a throne, and
Well,
it is a
the Ghoul
gorgeous
King,
model.
like the ghouls are a faction in AOS. They're like a subcult of
Yep.
vampires.
But you
Mhm.
could totally use that for 40K, man. Like that could definitely be, some sort of evil, chaos marine Nurgle army, some sort of thing. So
Was it? There's heralds of demons,
yes, that
like
could
a
be a lot
herald
of
of
yes.
Nurgle.
Yes. Wonderful kit bash potential there.
Yeah.
I think we need to discuss about the big angry elephant in the room. That would be Angron.
No, I thought you were
More
going to say
rules.
Dicky.
Well, yeah, Tech Free Sticky is probably very opinionative. Where is Tech Free?
Oh
Oh, there
God,
he stick to be like a squig spear, so I guess he can
yeah,
charge into you with a squig on a
that
stick.
is a highly effective weapon.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that'd be great both in the fantasy and in the futuristic sci-fi world that is
Yeah,
40K. There's another guy like basically using a squig in a slingshot to sling a squig, at people. Anyway,
again,
fun stuff.
highly effective.
Highly effective. So I don't know. I like that GW can go from like the extreme angry, Angron to a bunch of guys
Yeah.
rolling
I
around
think
with
we
it.
broke the tech breeze. He's
Yeah.
just laughing in the
I'm
middle.
dying slowly because it looks like there was a warning on my screen. I guess Restream, the servers came down while we were
Oh,
streaming, and they came back up. So we're back. So
we're
people can
back.
clearly now hear me now.
No,
So
that's
And
great.
they
right
can see your
now
they
they
can
can
see your
see they can
screen.
see all of us on Restream.
Inception, man. Inception.
I am so glad this
Oh
happened
my
to you
God,
tonight.
why?
So
Ah,
clearly,
yes.
this episode is a wash right now.
It's
So
tainted.
Uh,
It's tainted. So
this is
I don't
this
know.
is
Like, I don't even know where to
magic.
go from here. Like, do you want to talk about Angron again? I could talk about Angron for
okay,
days.
let's talk about. Okay, do we got Loon Court? Have we covered Loon Court? Because
We
they're
covered
fun.
Loot Court. Yes,
Yep.
Okay.
you hear
They
me
can
now.
hear us.
Great,
They
wonderful.
can hear us now. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Amazing.
Tech Priest Dicky,
Okay.
I'm gonna bring you in.
Yeah.
Tech Priest Dicky coming in.
Tech-
We'll figure all this out in post and make it all pretty professional.
I'll edit all this. It'll be gorgeous on the edit.
All right.
For
So
sure.
for you live audience members, thank you so much for putting it up with us.
Yeah.
Tech Priest Dicky, tell us your thoughts on Angron and how many guardsmen he can murder.
He can kill 39 guardsmen because he's so angry.
Just with his anger, not even with his
yes.
weapons.
Pure anger. Almost the same anger level as mine with technology tonight. He's got this really cool ability called Wrath of
I don't think technology is the one to blame here.
Okay, Seth. Don't be sassing
Low
me.
blow,
Low
man.
blow.
Jeez.
Wrathful Presence.
I warned you I had the mic tonight.
You have three options in the command phase. In my opinion, the strongest one is going to be Righteous Slaughter. Being able to touch things and force it not to fall back. Clear. There's no roll. There's no leadership. There's no 4+. It's just can't fall back. That's a huge ability, and that's going to protect Angron from getting shot, which he doesn't like to get. So that's a huge thing. Also, you'll notice in here, it says that you can res, or they're alluding that you can res Angron after death.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I hate that. That is my least favorite thing.
Yeah.
No.
It says, on the other hand, death is not assured.
Little teaser there.
What's assured is my love for Angron. I'm really excited about this model, and I'm really excited about these rules.
I'm just excited to crump him with Gazgul and watch you cry.
There's no way you're going to crump him.
Okay, so we know that he's not character protected.
No way.
No.
There's
No
no way
way.
he's character
No,
protected.
he will not be
And
character protected.
it doesn't seem like he has wound cap, so it looks like Gaz could theoretically, put the hurt on him.
Yeah.
And all my tanks can blast you off the board as you approach me turn one. Just saying.
And don't forget, as a longtime Votan player, I can introduce you to some judgment.
You could, and then he will. I wonder. Here's an interesting interaction. If he dies and comes back, do the tokens follow him?
They
Ooh.
do.
How do you? You're just saying that
Because
blanket?
I'm judging him that hard. Do you hear me,
A
Angron?
dwarf never forgets, man.
Well, he killed him already, so he forgot somehow, and then he comes back. I think that's fine. Anyway, I'm super excited. Yeah.
We covered the goofy Loon Court. We covered the serious Angron. Now let's drop a little teaser of our own. I am pleased to say that there's a brand new FLG product at our warehouse as we speak. This is not terrain. It's not a mat. It's not a table. It's
Is it our FLG
totally...
branded Trek ears?
No, but it could be. I mean, it's not. It's not.
Is it
maybe
donkey ears? No.
it's not.
A bow tie.
I would be all. I would love to. Although we are working still on some really sweet glasses for LVO, which Seth has seen, I think, and Rich might have seen. So yeah, there might be some glasses, but no, this is not the product. This is a brand new product which we will be releasing. Like the tables, we're pretty sure it's going to sell out very quickly. But yeah, stand by. I'm not allowed to give more information until we have all the marketing collateral and all that stuff ready to go. So look for that in the near future. This is something though that you will probably want to jump on quickly, because like the tables, when they were gone, and it took us a long time to get them back in stock. Speaking of tables, we do have tables still available for pre-order at the LVO as well as Cherokee. Okay, Seth, do you want to
grab a table and go? Pretty much,
you can just grab a table and go. We're going to try and have some of our Frontline gaming tables to play on, not just for the top tables at the LVO champs, but also like just random tables throughout the hall, so that random people get the opportunity to play on one of these sweet tables. So that should be a fun little thing, right?
Nice.
Yeah, Seth, I want to tell you that Rocky Mountain Open tickets went live less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
less than 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
and we are over 2/3 sold out. I mean, and this is less than 2 weeks in. So you definitely want to buy your ticket. We also have tickets that are free. The tickets are free for this like social hour thing we're doing after the event on Saturday night. We're basically taking over this really sweet brewery where there's
Ooh.
pinball and arcade, really good food. We're getting a bunch of free food from the brewery. So the after party, if you want to call it that, is going to be epic in its own right. The tickets,
Sounds
though,
cool.
will need to be purchased for free once again on our website. It's just a way for us to keep count because we're only allowing 100 out of the 100 people going to it. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Well, make sure you sign up for that because that sounds like a
yes.
good time.
And Seth, what was one of your favorite events last year?
Cherokee.
The answer, yeah, good answer, good answer, good
Yeah.
answer.
I was like, is this a question?
Cherokee is this February, and as we've been talking about it, the event's been growing and growing and growing. I mean, we're like 150, 40K players, and
Yep.
we still have plenty of time. And Cherokee was interesting last year. A lot of tickets got bought that last month before. So if we're already that many people just for 40K, I have a feeling Cherokee's pretty dang big, which is great. You do need to get your hotel rooms because those ones are selling out. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the nice new shiny event. As of this afternoon, we've added a Song of Fire, of Ice and Fire to our circuit, not just for Cherokee, but
Ooh.
Simon, company that makes this game, is like fully partnering with Frontline Gaming for the entire year of
Nice.
2023. Yeah, dude, this is huge. This is huge. They're not just partnering with us like casually, like it's a beautiful like friendship we formed with them. So basically, they saw how people love song. We're just gonna call it song because it's way easier than saying a song of
Yeah.
ice and fire. People like song is sold out at LVO, and they're like, wow, people are really like wanting to go to events. I'm like, yes, and guess who has a lot of events? We do. Come join us. So we're gonna be doing
Nice.
song events at most of our stuff across the country, starting off with Cherokee. And Simon, the company that makes this, is like really going heavily. Like they are giving amazing prize support and for both the winners and then just like random stuff for random attendees. The winner's going to get a full ticket to their expo in later in the year, as well
Mhm.
as to go visit the expo, as well as to play in their finals, their nationals. But
Ooh.
the prize support is something I'm really excited about. They're going all out directly, like licensed Game of Thrones manufacturer provided stuff for us. So
Yeah.
so that's going to be really really cool. Seth, I think we should. We're going to be talking a lot about the big one, the LVO, in a little bit.
Mhm.
So why don't you take us right into the FLGN news and maybe talk about what you were doing on Monday, which was not
Yes. Yes.
running, which was not basically doing a show.
We on Monday on Grim, myself, the lovely tech priest, who is definitely not sweating profusely in the background right now, trying to hold everything together with love and hope. Uh, we joined the Grim crew and we all played Darktide together. And there was some pointed feedback I think I received from chat, which was I was an ammo hog. Chat, I would like to remind you that in that game, there was an Ogryn whose special ability is run forward and hit things with a club, and two preachers whose special ability was get critical hits with my club. And my character was a veteran whose special ability is shoot things better. So, of the four of us, who needed the ammo? Me. Who ran around with no ammo and an empty shotgun for like half the game? Me. I'm just saying.
First of all, there's shotguns in Darktide because I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of shotguns. Like
Yeah, that you can
Halo,
have
that
a
was my
guard
gun of choice
shotgun and
with
just
a
run
shotgun.
around blasting.
All right, and second of all, why the hell were you just a guardsman, whatever, when you should have been the ogre? Like that's just the
Well, Danny was
natural.
the Ogryn.
Well, that's he should not be like that. Should be you. That
Well,
is just your.
it was he wanted to do that, and I was being nice to Danny. I had occasionally have to be nice to him. Just chat. I can't win with you guys, but chat. Now that I've got your undivided attention, it's time for me to make you work for me.
Jeez.
So,
What the hell?
what?
Where's this going?
Don't worry, Kicker. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be all on board with this idea, Kicker. So, for LVO, which we're gonna be talking about here in a minute, my job there during that event is to be your sideline reporter. I'm gonna be going out in the field, not just the 40K, but the whole event, getting you stories, the feedback to stream to give you those juicy little fun nuggets in between the exciting happenings on the tabletop. Now, what I need from chat.
Did you say fun nuggets?
Fun nuggets. Yes.
Just making sure.
Go back to work, Tech Priest. The
Sorry.
stream might
Fun
die.
nuggets. That sounds like a snack you get at a gas station truck stop or something, right?
What I want from chat, because that first day I'm there, I've got a pretty good amount of leeway to go follow whatever stories you want to see. So if there's an event you want to hear about, if there's some players in attendance that you want us to check up on over the next few weeks, I need you guys to give me that info so that I can get my little list together, so that myself and my partner in crime, Dustin Henshaw, over on the Thursday show, we can bring you that information. Kelsey's asking, does this, joking, does Seth give benefits in retirement out of working for him? Kelsey, I already have your name on my list of stories that I'm going to follow, because this is your first LVO. So we're going to be checking in on you and seeing how your event experience is going. Even if you're not playing, you're going to be doing something, and we want to hear how it is. So the rest of chat over the next few weeks, throw me some ideas. I've got a running list, or if you see Dustin over at the Thursday show, throw him some ideas so that we can bring you the stories that you want to see at the LVO.
I'm taking my privileged position to immediately request one.
Oh, what's that?
I want you to follow some of the international teams. I know there's a bunch of guys from Iceland. There's a bunch of guys from Spain. There's a bunch of Germans coming. I mean, like, of course, a bunch of guys from the UK. I think there's a few Australians. Like, I'd love for you to get their take on, American 40K and this experience, because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. Sweet.
So I could definitely check in on some of the international crews, see what their first. Grace, back to work.
So yeah, Team Shiny Heads is an appropriate name for you and Dustin. I will be getting you your official FLGN jerseys with Team Shiny Heads on the back.
I asked for official FLG Shrek ears and donkey ears, and you wouldn't make that happen. But
No.
Team Shiny Heads,
Far more professional.
Kelsey, that's a judgment right there. That's what that is. No,
seriously, guys, as we get closer to LVO, we would love feedback for what coverage you do want, because there's, a 200 plus person MCP event. Age of Sigmar is at almost 400 people. Like, there's a lot going on there. And then the exhibit hall, we've got a bunch of brand new products being released from manufacturers from around the world. So it'd be kind of cool to see what you guys want, because we can have Seth literally run around and go and talk to the people.
We have the tech set up. I should be able to go basically anywhere in the event and see whatever you want to see. And obviously we're going to check in on all the other tournaments and check in on the vendor hall. But if there's something specific that you are just burning to see, this is your chance to let us know, and we can see if we can make it happen. Yeah. I mean, I am all for giving you a guided tour of Tech Priest Sticky's hotel room.
Seth, maybe we should announce that this is the first part of multiple parts leading up to LVO, the road to LVO, where we'll be focusing on LVO and different segments of it. Right now, though, we're going to focus on more of, I guess, prep, what you can do, what you can expect for LVO as an attendee. But later on throughout this month and going into early January, we'll be starting to talk about some of the people to watch at LVO, where some of the positioning is in terms of who could win it. So yeah, let's start off, Seth, right now with basically how to get ready for the LVO and those kind of insider pro tips for those that have never been. And this year is by far larger than ever, not just the 40K champs, but just every one of our events. We've added a lot of new events. There's a lot of people that have just never gone to an event like this or even been to Vegas. So let's give them some pro tips, Seth. You want to maybe start off with like, hey, you're at the airport. How do you get to the venue?
Yeah. So, when you're flying into Vegas, there is basically the main international airport you fly into. I actually had this pulled up just so I could have that information for you guys.
It's the
Harry Reid. I was like, it starts with an H. Harry Reid. So
Used to be McCarran.
Most people are going to be flying in there. You've got a few options on how to get from the Harry Reid to the Rio, which is where the event's at. There are some shuttles you can book in advance. And so if you have a large group of friends flying in, that might be a good option. There are a number of taxi companies, and they have kind of pre-estimated rates. So a taxi from the airport to the Rio is about $25 on their website right now. So that's a pretty, all things considered, that's a fairly cheap taxi trip, particularly if you're going to split it with some friends. You can split that up. Of course,
can I get a pro tip on the taxi thing? Because I used to work at Las Vegas. I used to go to Las Vegas all the time for work, like all the time. The pro tip is make sure, I mean, it's your prerogative, but if you want to get the cheaper taxi rate, you just say, I want to go directly to the hotel. I don't want the scenic route, because a
Yeah.
lot of the cabbies will take you down the strip because it's like the
Yeah.
photogenic way, but it not only takes you longer, but also they charge you way more. And that's the way that a lot of the tourists want to go, which is totally fine. And by all
Yeah.
means go to. But if you're in a rush because you want to get to early registration on Thursday, I just tell them, hey, take me straight to the venue.
And then the last thing that's obviously everyone's aware of, but ride shares like Uber or Lyft, you can book those with the app. Again, those are nice if you maybe have a small group you're willing to split with. If you got a larger group, probably go with a shuttle. But you can leave straight from the airport, pick up your stuff, grab it, get in the whatever transport you got, get to the Rio. Then kicker. Once you
Yes.
get to the Rio, it's pretty easy to check in to your room. They've
Yep.
got both staffed and self-service kiosks to check in, right?
Yep. Yep,
Yep.
they usually do. And this year they should have way more people working the front desk as well to help
Yep.
speed people along. We should tell people, hey, if you know, I mean, you probably already got your travel plans, but you want to check in, Thursday.
Mhm.
Don't try to check in Friday.
Friday's
That's
line's going to be a long one,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
particularly if you're trying to get through the line because you're playing Friday morning in one of the events. You're
yeah.
better off trying to get through Thursday evening.
And I mean, we can have a whole nother topic about this, and we've discussed it in the past. But definitely staying on site, regardless of helping frontline gaming or not, like staying on site is just alleviates a lot of the headaches that you would imagine. Just trying to get to the venue. This year, we'll discuss in a second, but there's a lot more amenities on site as well.
Mhm.
Seth, actually, I'm gonna before we go into like the real meat and potatoes here. A few days before the event, if you're a ticket holder, I've got your email, and we're going to send you a very super specific email with all the information. Not only stuff we're talking about tonight, but even far more detailed stuff, so that when a few days before, you have a very specific game plan with what to do,
Mhm.
where to go, and everything. So stand by for that. But tonight we're kind of trying to cover more broad things just to help you plan
Yep.
generally.
Yep.
I guess, Seth, everyone has to have, what is the one thing that everyone has to have to enter the LVO, Seth?
Uh, Clothes.
Well, I was not expecting that answer, but that is that is an accurate answer. Although our dress code is pretty, I don't know, loose.
No, everyone needs a con badge kicker.
Everyone needs a con badge, and you really should buy them in advance. Trying to show up and buy one is going to not only delay us and delay the people
Yep.
behind you in line, but it's just a mess. It's so easy
Kicker,
for us to
just ballpark. How many people do we expect to say expect to be at the convention as a whole?
Oh, at the whole, so we're looking at between 5,500 and I'd say 6,500. I think that's a pretty good.
So just let's make an easy number. 6,000 people. If 6,000 people all try to buy their con badge individually and
Yeah,
make you guys ring them up, that is going to drastically slow down that
yeah.
line getting people in and out.
And I have looked at, like, I mean, it's my job to look at the numbers all day, every day. And
Yeah.
so it looks like people have bought their con badges because there's like a ton of con badges. And I have to place the order. So we don't at LVO and at Frontline Game events, we don't use a name badge with a lanyard
Mhm.
like you do at, like, I guess, a traditional convention. We found that that's actually detrimental to tabletop wargaming because you're like leaning over the table and your lanyard hits and knocks models all over and whatnot. So we use a bracelet, a wristband, a really nice silicone, one of those stereotypical wristband things. I am actually placing all the orders for that tomorrow. But you'll have a different wristband that's color coded to your type of con badge you have. So
Mhm.
you'll come and you'll get that. So pre-order that. It's pretty easy. Just get it online and show
Yep.
up. Your name will be there. We'll give you that as well as whatever
Save you
swag.
time.
Yeah,
And then you
save
can
it.
go have fun.
Then you can go have fun. A lot of people know that when you go to a Frontline Gaming event, you could check in at registration and you get your challenge coin and stickers and some dice like that. At LVO, we have too many people and we're just trying to move people along. So we're going to give you your wristband so you can then enter the convention. But things like challenge coins and a lot of the different events have different, I guess, swag you get for participating. Like we were just talking about Simon and Song. If
Mhm.
you're playing in Song, you'll get your song specific swag and the challenge coin at those events
Gotcha.
by the judges at some point during the tournament. Some tournaments, and I don't know, maybe this is a discussion we should have. Some tournaments are not giving the challenge coin until the end of the
Ooh,
tournament. So you actually have to participate in
you've got to
all
complete
6
the
rounds or
gauntlet.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Make sure you have to, cross that finish line, I guess. But I guess we need to talk about BCP and you. So you have to have, if you're playing the 40K champs, Age of Sigmar champs, a lot of the other events, you really should have a BCP account by this
Yep.
point. It just makes life way easier. We can't force you to use BCP. You can always go talk to the judges and then they can manually find what table you're at and whatever. But assuming you're familiar with BCP, right now you'll notice, guys, that there is no event in BCP right now. You're not added to anything.
Mhm.
About a week before list submission is due. So I don't have the due dates lined up, but we do this for Age of Sigmar, everything. A week before the list submission is due, we're going to email every single person that has a ticket. And if you've purchased multiple tickets, you'll get most likely multiple emails. And in each email will be a unique token. And that token allows you
Yep.
to basically add yourself to BCP's event, to the roster in BCP, and you can use whatever email account you want. So basically, some people buy their online purchases with one email, but their BCP account happens to be another. So you'll be able to, I guess, upload your appropriate email to BCP. If you bought a ticket for someone else, so you have two tickets, make sure you share that token with that person that you bought the ticket for, so that they're not calling me up saying, "Hey, my friend bought me a ticket and they won't verify me and stuff." So yeah.
Or I mean, not, and if you don't like your friend, I guess.
Or exactly. I mean, LVO is totally sold out, guys. I mean, literally today, I have had 4 or 5 different people asking me, begging me, trying to get tickets. I'm like, we can't add another single other table. So yeah, those tokens are going to be hot commodities when they are released.
All right.
Seth, have you ever had any issues? I know people like to give BCP a hard time, but how was your experience with BCP in 2022 at LVO?
2022 was fine.
Okay.
I mean, we all know 2020.
Mhm.
That was BCP servers were ran by a hamster, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But since then, I haven't had any issues. Actually, the only time I've actually since 2020 had a BCP issue was at Warzone this past 2 weeks ago, where
Oh, really?
they had to manually put me into BCP. And for whatever reason, even though they entered my email correctly, it didn't connect to like my account
Oh, that's
as a
weird.
player. So I couldn't do anything in the app.
Oh,
But otherwise, yeah, it's been fine. Been
mm.
fine. No
Well,
problems at any FLG events. I'll say
good,
that.
good. That's good. And we do have the BCP guys
Yep.
at the event to be our backup. We literally have the programmers there. So and our Frontline Gaming staff team, comprised of some amazing human beings, they have got backups to our backups now. We learned from 2020, so that's part of our standard operating procedure going
Yep.
into any event is what do we do if things go bad.
We could run the tournament in the dark.
Yeah, totally, man, totally.
By candlelight. Couldn't stream though by candlelight.
No
Right,
stream. We wouldn't have a stream. We probably, if we had to do it because there's a loss of power, we'd still keep the tournament going. The stream might have to end though. Seth, we should talk about the early registration / pre-game party on Thursday night. You
Yep.
were there last year, right?
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, so there is at 4 p.m. on Thursday, so not a moment before we keep the hall totally closed off. You can't come and walk. Like a lot of people get to Frontline Gaming events and like want to go and check out and the hall and see how things are. We know we totally close off the convention space till 4 p.m. And then at 4 p.m. we open up the registration desk, which is at the very front of the hall.
Mhm.
Once that registration desk is open, you can go in and get your con badge and enter the LVO. The exhibitor hall will be open for some super special discounted pricing, product first reveals, demoing, all that stuff. The GW preview, which is going to be happening that night, is going to be happening, I think, 8:30. I want to say 8:30 or 9. And that'll be a separate announcement we'll make. We'll show you how to get access to that preview. Duncan Rhodes will be doing a really cheap seminar. It's only $10 for the seminar on Thursday night, but it's
Nice.
more like get to hang out with him, learn about his story
Yeah.
about painting Space Marines and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff Thursday night. So not only do you get your badge and are you ready to go for Friday, which is really the biggest benefit, right? You don't want to have to try and do that.
That way, Friday morning you can roll in.
Yeah.
And
roll in, go right to your table. You'll be good to go. But like the party itself is nice. There'll be a big old bar and all that. And we're going to be having Kill Team, Warcry, Underworld demos with like some really sweet prizes as well, just for going and playing. So there's just going to be, and the Vanguard Tactics Workshop. I always forget.
Yep.
The Vanguard Tactics Workshop is happening at the same time, which you need to have a ticket bought in advance. And I think we're down to like the 1 or 2 tickets left for that workshop. But anyway, there's a lot happening. So Thursday night, it's highly recommended you get there. You get to go hang out with everyone, go get a drink at the bar, go shop a little bit, see the big GW preview, which I think has got to be, if not the biggest, probably the second largest preview they do each year. Because I know they do the big Warhammer
it is a big
preview,
one.
but it's a big one. It's a big one. So look for some massive announcements. Oh, and if you are a VIP, VIPs mean, there's some, if you're a high roller, for example, if you've gotten the high roller package, you are considered a VIP. Some other people have gotten
Yeah.
emails because they are VIPs. So basically, if you're high roller, if you're a Vanguard Tactics Workshop attendee, or if you're Henry Cavill, you've gotten an email that will tell you that you're a VIP. That means you can access the VIP registration. So Seth, you know how long the line days get
Yep.
Thursday. Like it's bad. Like just
It is
go for it. Tell
quite
others.
quite the adventure. So having that special VIP registration to get yourself through the line quicker,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Just cut that whole line. There'll be a nice big banner. So last year we didn't have as much signage as I wanted. In 2023, there will be quite a bit of signage to help direct people where the
Yep.
VIP line is, where the regular line is, and then
And
where the
where's the Henry Cavill line?
and where is the Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill line starts with me. Everyone, just
Seth, your experience with food in the hall. What did you think?
it was good. Yeah,
Was it-
last time we had like breakfast and I think some lunch options at the
Yeah,
hall.
yeah,
Um, super convenient. Just because I don't know about you guys, but I am not like much of a morning person, so I like to just get my stuff and sit down and relax. And then depending on how long your pre lunch round went, you might be a bit scrambled for time. So it's great having those convenient options, and they're fairly cheap. And Vegas can get kind of pricey
yeah,
for food, so having some cheap options is nice.
yeah.
And I remember last time, Kicker, that you were a little concerned after the first day with how fast the staff was getting through the line, but the Rio was really responsive and getting you more help there to get people through that line quickly. So that worked out great, I think.
And I had a call with Rio's upper management today, and it is confirmed that we learn. Every time you do a new venue, last time was our first time at the Rio. Friday the lines were a little longer, so we learned, and so we doubled the cashiers, and so we're going to start Friday right off on the right step with lots
Yep.
of cashiers. The idea is to keep that line moving. The breakfast is legitimately really good. That got one of
Yeah.
the highest marks for us. So breakfast in the hall will be breakfast
And
sandwiches and burritos. I
and
think
they've
there'll be some
got
donuts and coffee.
coffee and drinks and that kind of stuff. You're about to get to it, but I'm gonna spoil it. They're like, there's a Starbucks nearby, but that line can
Yeah.
get long because there's like 3 people working that Starbucks and a couple thousand of us who want coffee.
Yeah. I mean, the Starbucks is always an option if you are a Starbucks fanatic. That
Yep.
is down
Yep.
the hall, but I promise that you're going to be spending way more and waiting in line a lot longer there. Plus, you can get like the full breakfast experience by getting your wrap and whatever you wanted
Yep.
from us in the hall. So then there will also be lunch. We'll all have lunch. You'll have we're not reinventing the wheel this year. It's going to be the standards we always have. Hamburgers and chicken nuggets and that kind of stuff. Some
I'm a
snacks
chicken tender
galore.
fan myself.
Yeah, right. You like the chicken tenders. Man, they actually were by far the biggest selling thing. I looked at
I think chicken tenders is like a nice. It's from a experienced tournament goer here. Kicker. You don't want something that's not going to sit well on your stomach. You're
no,
going to be on
true.
your feet. You're going to be moving around. You want something that's not too heavy, but it also can't be too light because you're going to be around. So
Yeah, you
it's
need this.
protein. Yeah, it's got a little fat in it. A little fried, but it's not usually too upsetting to the stomach. So I'm pro chicken tender.
Well, I'm glad you're pro chicken tender. So there will be the food in the hall, usually from 11 lunch is usually 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yep.
So you can definitely get there. We'll also have 2 bars in the hall. One will be definitely in the pavilion, which is the
Mhm.
40K champs and Age of Sigmar champs hall, which has got a couple thousand people there. That's the
Just
really
a few
big.
thousand.
Yeah, well, that's the big hall. So there'll be a bar in there. There'll be another bar right by the exhibitor hall, and then the food as well. But people have been asking, I believe Kelsey as well as John over in the UK and a few others were asking, hey, what else is on site this
Yep.
year at the Rio? And I wanted to get like the facts, right? I didn't want to have anything loose. So one of my conversations today was what specifically is open and when are they open? So here's just kind of the quick rundown. This once again will be in an email going out to all the ticket holders down the line. But basically, quick rundown. All American is basically mixed restaurant like diner kind of style. That's open 7 a.m. to
Yep.
9 p.m. every single day. Starbucks is open 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single day. But like Seth has mentioned, the Starbucks line gets crazy. Sports Kitchen is kind of their sports bar with food and whatever. That's
Yeah,
open
and that
7
and
p.m. Yeah,
I think if I remember correctly, the Sports Kitchen and the All American were open
yeah.
when we were there last time.
Yeah, so I think those are the same 2 that were open last
Yeah.
time. And the Sports Kitchen is open 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. The idea is that you can stay out. Like we have some like games that play like till midnight, whatever.
Yeah.
Can always go to the Sports Kitchen.
Guilty.
Guilty. They
Looking at
had
you,
this
team.
little I guess food hall area where there's a Vietnamese place, a Mexican place, and kind of another all-American diner vibe.
Mhm.
I forgot the name of it. And those are going to be open from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. the nights of our event. So that's 5 p.m., basically dinner. You're not getting lunch there, but you're getting dinner there. And that's just kind of fast food,
Yeah.
Mexican, whatever. There's also going to be a Voodoo Steakhouse, which is only open just Friday and Saturday night. And that's a place you want to make reservations. But if you
Yeah, I
and
was
your
gonna say
team,
most of those kind of restaurants, if
yeah,
you're interested in them, make your reservations and don't wait until you show up Thursday to make your reservation.
no, no, no.
Like you may want to call ahead early that
Yeah.
week
Like
to
if
get
you
that
and your
reservation.
buddies want to go get a nice steak on Saturday, on
Yeah,
Friday or whatever after your
yeah,
first
and I know a
make
lot of
it.
guys like to do that.
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, that's open just Friday and Saturday night
Yep,
for dinner. Smash Burger, of course, is still going to be open, all the normal hours, lunch to
yep.
night. There's a dim sum place that was open and it's open again this year as well. Korean barbecue place, Wetzel's Indian food. I forgot the name of I think it's like Indian, I don't know, Indian Palace, Dumo Cafe. Those are all places that are open from lunchtime through 10
Yep.
p.m. at night. So you do have way more options this year than you did last year. You also have multiple bars
It
that are
is
on the
the
Rio
Royal
open all night.
Indian Bistro.
Is that that's in
Yeah.
Indian Bistro, right?
Now,
So
Kicker, the one thing that's not on your list that I walked past basically like every day,
yeah.
Hash House a Go Go.
Okay, there is that's the one in the next to the Vietnamese Mexican place, and
I thought
I
that
called
was
it
the
the all
one.
American one.
Is that not the one that's like on the hallway from the casino floor to our
Yes.
event
Okay.
space?
But okay. Yeah. I think across
Yeah.
the street. So they used to have like a Guy Ferrari
Mhm.
thing that was
Yeah.
closed. That was closed in 2022. I think that's the new Mexican place next to a
Yep.
Vietnamese
Yep.
place across from the All American Hash House Diner thing.
Okay.
But the diner, like I said, will not be open for breakfast. It will be just from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay.
And like I said, plenty of bars so that you can get
Yeah.
drinks throughout the resort. It is a
It's
casino.
Vegas. It's
It's
gonna make
Vegas.
sure you can get drinks.
Entertainment. We need to talk about entertainment. Penn and Teller will be open during
Yep.
our event, so you can go get Penn and Teller tickets. Once again, get these in advance. They usually sell out.
Mhm.
There's something called Wow Theater. I have no idea what this hell this is. You can Google it. And then there's the Dumo Showroom. Another thing, no idea what that is. You got to Google it. And then the fourth show that they're having on site is the comedy show at the Comedy Cellar, which has two time slots, a 7:30 and a 9:30. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the on site.
7:30 might be pushing it, but 9:30 sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and I
Give you
don't know about
time
you,
to go
Seth.
get some food after your games, then
Yeah.
have a chuckle with your friends
Yeah, dude, I love it.
about
Have you
your
I mean,
game.
I'm huge into stand-up comedy. Like, that is one of my favorite, like,
Mm.
date
Kicker,
night kind of
actually, if you
things.
Google, do some YouTube, and you can probably find some Kicker stand-up set from his earlier days.
No, I do not do stand-up. No, hell no, man. No. But I have attended many a stand-up show. Seth, what have you? Have you ever gone to stand-up? Like, I feel like people don't go to stand-up shows anymore. Like, whenever I, like, ask friends to go on a double date, they're like, "What is this stand-up comedy stuff?" Have you ever gone to a stand-up comedy show?
I mean, I've been to a few, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't know. I love it. So Seth, offsite stuff. Do you have
Yep.
any recommendations? I don't get to go offsite. I literally am like chained to the Rio
I mean,
for the entire
it's
weekend.
Vegas. There's tons of stuff offsite. Now, the Rio is, if I remember correctly, it's not directly on the strip,
Yeah.
but there is basically a continuous line of taxis out front of any casino, and you can just get in and say, "I want to go to this," and they just take you there.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think one night, I think it was a Sunday actually. Myself and Danny and John from Mob Rules all were like, "We want to go check out the Caesars buffet." So you literally just walk out the front door. There's a taxi, you hop in, they take you over to Caesars, you hop out, and then when you're done with Caesars, you walk out and you hop back in, and they take you back to Rio. So
Yeah.
it's really easy to get anywhere. You can walk from the Rio to the strip. It's across a little bridge over the highway. So if you're saving some money or you're burning off maybe some of them chicken tenders, that's an option. Tech Priest jumped in. What's going on, Tech Priest? Nothing is going on with Tech Priest. We can't hear him at all. Once again,
He's just
uh,
popping in to say hi.
he seems to have brought up some sort of information in the background. He's trying to communicate with flailing hand gestures, but I can't hear anything. So,
Seth, there are some things walking distance that are like
all right,
really safe bets.
all right.
Denny's. There's a Denny's.
Denny's is a good one. Denny's is also kind of one of those like open late night, if I remember correct.
24 hours, dude. Not even
That's
late night. Just forever. They're always open. They're never closed.
I think I heard an exasperated Tech Priest sigh in the background.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, he's back.
God damn it. Okay. Gordon Ramsay's burger burger place. It is amazing. It'll change your life. Get the milkshakes. They have like a million different milkshakes, and the burgers are unbelievable good.
Are you
So
taking me there, Tech Priest? Are we gonna
yes,
go?
everyone
We're
go
having a
to
date.
Gordon Ramsay Burger Place. Yes,
All right, we'll have a date.
FLGN party at the Gordon
it was
Ramsay.
so good. Oh, I'm going back. It was so good.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, okay, that's your solid pro tip. Another pro tip, I got to say, is right outside of the Rio, like right down the street, is Las Vegas's Chinatown. I
Mhm.
mean, it's. I mean, you probably want to take a taxi cab, probably, but I mean, me and my German battle brother Daniel, we would run past it in the morning, like it's right there, and there's
Yep.
a bunch of options of really good, Korean barbecue and whatnot, if that's your jam.
Yeah.
Seth, do you have any pro tips? Any other last little like pro tip
Well,
things
you
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 want?
you put it here in your notes, but a lot of times, like you get to an event and you may have forgotten something.
Yeah,
Maybe your toothpaste, maybe some
deodorant.
deodorant,
Deodorant.
or you're midway through an event and you're like, oh man, I normally don't need Rolaids, but all this food now I got some heartburn. So there's a Walgreens nearby, which is always nice to have walking distance. And also that's also a nice little way to get some snacks, some beverages for up in
Yes.
your room or whatever. I know Kicker as a professional traveler does that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm a freaking squirrel.
Yeah, so just having one of those nearby is nice. If you need something else, you can always like not so much Uber Eats, but there's like Postmate is one of those like services that'll go to like a grocery store or a Walgreens or wherever you need them to go, and then bring it to you. You're gonna pay a markup for it, but if you need it and you can't have it or you can't do without it, that's an easy way to do it. But it is nice to have one of those type of stores, those Walgreens right nearby.
Sweet, sweet,
Well, I
sweet.
got one. I got one. I got one.
We got one.
All right,
Shoot,
all right.
shoot.
Yeah. Bring some comfortable shoes.
Oh my God. Sorry. Yes. Thank you, Tech Priest.
Yeah.
I had this thought earlier today, and I'll be honest, Chad, I didn't make great notes for tonight.
All right, are we talking about like Nikes here, or what are we talking about? Like, do we
It
get a brand
doesn't matter.
choice?
Just
It's
something that
something-
won't kill you because
Yes.
the hull is ginormous.
Yeah. The scale does not easily convey. I mean, just for reference, chat, the Saturday of LVO, where I played for like half a day and then I helped the stream team. I put in over 20 miles of walking that day.
Yep.
And then the hotel is huge. So
Humongous.
you're also walking a long distance to get back out to the main hotel or to the main casino floor and then go to your room. So you're going to, even if you're like standing and not doing a lot of walking during your game, or you're sitting in a paint class, you're still going to do a lot of walking at an event like this. So make sure you've got some good shoes,
bring some shoes,
something comfy. Maybe book a nice massage or
do
something.
not wear flip-flops. That is the wrong answer.
Okay. Chat. Let's take a minute together. My most comfy shoes I own are flip-flops.
Oh, dude,
God.
really?
Yeah. I am really, really thinking about, should I just wear flip-flops?
Oh no, that's so good.
That's a lot of walking, man. Like I like flip flops as much as the next guy, but like I'm like the like in between my toes where the little like the band goes.
You don't have ogre feet.
I don't know, dude. I am I'm normally like large feet and like arms and hands and stuff. Anyway, I'm basically a monkey, but yeah. Seth, I think that dovetails and Rich Tech Priest Sticky, I'm sorry. I think that dovetails very nicely into the last pro tip, which is this hall is amazingly large, as Seth and Tech Priest Sticky were talking about. It is crazy. We have one of the largest convention spaces in Vegas outside of the convention center. It is massive, and it's not one ballroom. A lot of people think, oh, it's a ballroom like when you normally go to a normal another 40K event or whatever. It's not one ballroom. We have 3 massive ballrooms. Each the main one is like 4 times the size of anything you've probably ever played 40K in, but then the other ones are probably bigger than ones you would normally be in. Each one of the 2 smaller the ballrooms are all larger than ACO or LSO or anything. They're all massive on their own right. In addition to that, we then have a bunch of breakout rooms for smaller events or paint classes or the exhibitor hall. So it's a little bit, it's not really a maze because it's not that confusing, but it's a lot to take in. So We do have a
Quite
map
a
that
lot.
will be going out that will identify where every different game system is being played to make it very easy. We'll have those maps around the LVOs. You can kind of just look at this map. I'm playing, I'm meeting my buddy. He's playing, I don't know, Lord of the Rings. Well, Lord of the Rings is in this hall, and there'll be signs and stuff.
Yep.
So look for that mat. We'll be sending that mat as a PDF as well, attached to the information email that will be going out to all ticket holders. But guys, it is big. It is a lot. It is exciting. But as Seth was saying, as Dickie was saying, prepare yourself, whether that's having good shoes, maybe getting a little bit of rest, because it is a lot of walking. You're also going to be playing some of the most competitive 40K you'll ever play in your life. So come prepared. With all that being said, it's a lot of fun. There's a reason people come year after year after year. LVO, for a lot of people, this is their thing. This is what they do with all their buds every year. And we hope that if this is your first year, you have just as good of an experience, and we see you again in 2024. Seth, do you want to jump into maybe a little bit of an over analysis of what's going on in the competitive world as we get closer to LVO? We're 6 weeks away.
There's nothing going on.
There's nothing going on.
I'm kidding. No. Generally speaking, the vibe is that there is some pretty good balance across the 40K spectrum right now. A lot of different armies are presenting themselves in those top podium placements. Depending on the week, you might see individual win rates get a little elevated, but as a whole, we're still seeing most of those armies being held to that 45 to 55 bracket that we like to see. So a really healthy meta. The kind of the big X factor that got answered earlier this week is will the new guard codex be at LVO? There's definitely some concern about the balance of the guard codex that I've heard from a lot of the competitive players.
Well, we should say the new codex it's all about the deadlines, right?
Yep.
If it's out by our deadline, then
Yep.
it will be used. If
will
it's
be.
after the deadline, we can't, because it's just not fair, right?
Yep.
So it's based on GW's kind of game plan, which is what everyone else is doing, which is when a codex is released for wide release on an individual basis, and they're able to really, I guess, analyze it before it goes out to the masses or whatever.
Yep.
When it's out on an individual release basis, if it's out by our deadline, we can use it. The big question, honestly, is we all know that there's going to have to be some FAQs or some things addressed in that new codex. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this new book is released on an individual basis before our rules cut off, and at the same time they drop an FAQ, like a day one FAQ. Did they do that with Votan?
They actually FAQ'd Votan before its full release.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, hopefully they do that, because then that will make LVO way less hectic. In terms of
that would be very much ideal if they were to do that.
Yeah.
But there are definitely some concerns about that book as it stands. If you were to play the new guard codex with Armor of Contempt and without taking any negatives to their indirect fire, it is very strong.
Yeah.
So everyone is kind of assuming that's going to go away, but it would be very nice to officially hear that. That would make
I can tell you for 100% that would, like, if okay, so a lot of people are like, hey, like, you guys are saying the new codex is not going to be used. No, very important to remember, guys. It may be used if it's fully released. If it's fully released before the rules cut off. Now,
and the rules cut off, I believe, I think I looked at it recently, it was January 15th.
I think so. I don't want to misspeak, so I think it's the 15th. It's in the player packet, which you should be,
I literally have the player packet here.
Open it up.
I'm scrolling.
Scroll fast. Scroll faster.
I can only scroll so fast.
Read faster. Quick. I know it's a big
It doesn't help when you tell me to read faster. Format, deadline, reading, list submission, materials. Yep. No new books, materials, supplements will be allowed after January 15th. So if the book is available before January 15th, use good to go, boys. So just be ready. But lists are due January 16th. So, if you're planning on maybe taking New Guard and you're really hoping that it gets released, you better have your list like sort of already made before that. And if you're someone who's trying to shoot for those upper echelon finishes and you're trying to make sure that you have a plan for what if the new guard codex does get released, and it looks like that, you probably also better have that plan in place before the 15th, because you'll have one day to figure it out.
And obviously, guys, if we catch wind of, if it goes up for pre-order, there's a 2 week, like
Yeah.
as soon as we
And it should
know.
be obvious.
Yeah,
Everything goes up for pre-order a week before its street
yeah,
date, so you should know it's coming.
yeah. So you should have, and if there is no FAQ at the time of the release, I don't want to speak for the judges because I just don't want to step on their toes. But I am pretty sure that if nothing is addressed on a formal front regarding, for example, the balance status, like whether it's an effect or not, I'm almost 100% sure we'll just have to adjust that for the LVO, saying no, you can't have the line of sight
Yeah.
shooting thing will be addressed. Like
Yeah.
it's, I mean, I've been playing guard for a month now or whatever, and it's
I am
way too much.
sure that those individuals are aware of the issues
Yeah.
and have plans in place in the event that those questions come up.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, Seth, have there been some guard, people taking it to have people have been playing with guard in a competitive scene already, right?
It has, but it's kind of been a little mixed bag because some events are ruling you get to use the data slate as it currently stands. So it's a little hard to tell sometimes what is and is not legal
Yeah.
and being run at certain events. So I'm not following that too closely yet until we get kind of a general consensus. But
Mm.
if we did want to talk about what's going on in the competitive community, we could get into the ITC rankings.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So lovely BCP has updated their web interface. So we have a new it's gone. We've lost the tech priest. It's back. Okay. All right. So our new number one, sliding back into that top spot, number one, Vic VJ from the Fireside Chat podcast, coming on over for LVO, and he's got a slim kicker, 5.1 point lead on Jack Harpster.
Oh wow. Wow.
And that's Jackson at number 2, number 3, John Lennon, number 4, David Gaylord, number 5, Thomas Ogden, number 6, Mike Porter. And I did confirm with Mike the other week that he is unable to make it this year. So not to say don't care about Mike Porter, but he's going to miss out on that big bucket of points that is LVO.
Dead to me, Mike.
He wants to come here. He just
people got like lives outside of 40K. We totally get it.
Okay, yeah. But point is, Mike's not going to be able to get that big bucket of points, so he kind of puts him out of contention for the top spot. Number 7, Nassim Fuchinzi, I think is how you pronounce it, Fuchizi, something like that.
You're doing better than me, man. Fuccini, what?
Fettuccine, Nassim.
I am getting hungry now.
Got it. I definitely am not friends with him and don't play him on a semi-regular basis. He's coming over. Number 8, Manny Chima. Everyone knows him. Number 10, Colin McDade. And number 11, Ben Sherwin. So that is your top 10. Things are kind of settling out for the year. Not a whole lot of big events left up until the LVO. So I think this is kind of going to be what our top 10 will look like going into it. Heading on over to the hobby track, our number 1 this week is Matt Aaron. Number 2, Andrew Gagno. Number 3, Jacob Thayer. Number 4, Lou Rollins. Number 5, Aaron Kelman. Number 16, Pritchard. Number 7, Eric Mullins. Number 8, Derek Page. Number 9, Lee Steiger. Number 10, Kevin Grubbs. And I mentioned earlier in the show, I want some storylines to follow going into LVO. I do think I want to check in on all the hobby guys and see how
you have to.
their adventures of getting all of their beautiful armies and display boards to the LVO to compete for that top spot. How did that work out for him?
Journey to get it to LVO is a whole story on its own. You're right. I mean, like I know Jacob's been updating. I'm sure he's been updating you on his progress. It's
I've seen it.
Stuff. JT has been putting the hours in as well, and Kevin Grubbs, I heard reached out to me earlier this week. Turns out I think we have to adjust some of his points for LSO, which could give him a little bit more moving up this rank. So that'll be really, really, really cool. Yeah, I think there was like a mistake way back then.
Right.
And so this guy's the hobby track guys has got to be a whole segment at LVO.
I think we got to check in on these guys, which means I have to hunt down. I'm gonna have so many people to hunt down.
Oh yeah,
I think I'm gonna have to steal Danny and make him work with us too.
Dude, and I don't know. Like I've seen some people working on their display boards, like absolutely gorgeous display boards.
They are.
Like, I mean, the armies are one thing, but it's the display boards.
Display boards are just so hard to travel with. That is a commitment.
But I think we need to find like a designated area in the 40K Champs Hall just for all the display boards to be lined up, because like it's like a beauty pageant. I want everyone to get to see these up close.
Yeah, we can. Hey, I mean, you're the one doing Hall Jenga, Hall Tetris. Jenga. You figure it out.
Thanks.
All right. Over the AOS competitive track, our number 1 this week is still the lovely Gavin Greigar. Number 2, Anthony Trentinelli. Number 3, Jeremy Vivzier. Number 4, Matt Beasley. Number 5, Thomas Guan. Number 6, Ridge Hanna. Number 7, Juan Noah Singe. Number 8, Zach Kennedy. Number 9, Emma Mangles. And number 10, Matt Robiche. I almost said Robinson there. Sorry, Matt. Robiche. And then hiding on over to the AOS hobby track, our number 1 is Jeremy Williams, dethroning the mighty number 2, Robert Snyder. And coming in at number 3 is Nick Garcia, followed by Ricky Fisher at number 4, Matt Beasley at number 5, Martin Orlando at number 6, Anthony Trentinelli at number 7, Gabriel Pacheco at number 8, Evan Markham at number 9, and Andrew Myers at number 10. And that is your ITC recap for the week. Kicker.
Wow. Thank you. Well done, Seth.
Final
Well done.
thoughts for the evening.
Guys, we're 6 weeks out to the LVO. Seth and I will be trying to, give coverage of the road to LVO throughout these next 6 weeks. The road to LVO. Yeah, can we get a really cool, like, sexy graphic?
Don't trust me. The Tech Priest already has it.
He's working on it.
He already has it.
Hopefully over the next few weeks, you can start to follow some of these storylines, including the hobby track guy, Seth.
Yep.
So really, really, really exciting stuff, guys. See y'all in 6 weeks, Seth. Take us out, man. Do you want to take us out? Or
I can try. Maybe. I might forget how to do it again.
With the flu and everything, man. You staying hydrated with your Mountain Dew.
I'm trying. It's more like trying to keep the fog from creeping in.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Signals from the Frontline. Have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Night.